Hi, so I'm Claire and this is Ian, and we are here in Chester City Centre at Optimum Health Coaching. So today we are just going to do a quick demonstration with some resistance bands. So firstly, as runners, we tend to miss the strength element from our workout, which shouldn't be the case. Doing strength workouts can really help improve our performance. It can make us quicker in the correct way. It can correct imbalances. It can aid injury prevention as well. From a strength side of things, I think generally people are put off for many reasons. Sometimes it can be the expense. It can be quite intimidating in some gyms. And to be honest, this is, and also sometimes due to lack of knowledge and understanding of what to do and what you might think is best to translate into a running gait. So anyway, resistance bands, these are lightweight, elastic, stretchy bands. You can get them in different shapes and sizes and different resistances. You can get the longer ones or the shorter ones. The ones we are going to demonstrate today are the shorter versions. Fantastic piece of kit. They're very inexpensive, lightweight, easy to transport. You don't take up much in terms of a storage, from the storage side of things. You can take them away on holiday if you really wish to. And it's a great way of installing some good habits around the home as well. They can be used while you're cooking or maybe brushing your teeth and getting into those good habits that way. You can soon build a 5-10 minute strength program into your day-to-day routine. So anyway, today we're going to show you 5 exercises that you can do with these resistance bands. I'll be demonstrating and Ian will be talking us through the exercises themselves.
Okay, so the first exercise we're going to do is what we call a crab walk. And the idea of the crab walk is we are looking to work the muscles on the outside of our hips here. Being more technical, it's more sort of like glute and med, and it's the muscles that are what we call abduct the hip. So it's moving that motion there. And this can help stabilize the body through what we call the pronation, where the ankle rolls in. So this can be one of the weaknesses in the muscles there that can cause that pronation. So Claire's going to demonstrate. So as you can see here, she's got the band around her ankles, just slightly above. You can do this around the balls of your feet as well. But today we're demonstrating from here. And Claire is going to then demonstrate. So she's going to go into just a very slight squat, and then she's going to move from side to side. The idea here is that we keep the tension in the band at all times. And this is what we call a slow race. So the slower that you do it is the more effective it's going to be. And you should be feeling the burn in the outside of your hips on both sides here. And it's important to do both sides, so you go to the right and to the left, working both sides. So that's the first exercise, which is called the crab walk. Our next exercise is going to be to work hip flexion. So basically we're looking to work our hip flexors, which are the muscles basically from the top of our quads up to the middle of our sort of like tummies. And it's basically working this motion here where the knee comes up to the chest. So now we've got the band around the balls of our feet. You should be able to see on Claire here. And we're keeping one foot onto the floor, and we're going to bring that other knee up and then bring it all the way up. And with some of these, with the bands, if the bands are a little bit light, do it a little bit slower. But once you get to the top, if you have a pause at the top, then you will do what we call an isometric contraction. That's going to work the muscles a little bit harder at the top. I'll let Claire go down before she starts to fatigue there. And we're going to repeat those up. And we're looking to do between 10 to 15 of these on one side, and then we'd switch to the other leg. Now there's 2 options here, because we're also doing this standing up, which means we're working on our balance and proprioception. So we're stood on one leg. So as you can see there, if you need to, you can use the wall for a bit of stability, or you can even do this lying down on your back and bringing your knee in. Ideally, we want to be doing it standing, because when we run, we're always doing it in a standing position, and we're always on one leg when we run. So moving on to our next exercise, which is going to be the lying hip abduction. So Claire's now going to lie down on the mat. And this time she's going to place the band around her knees. You may have heard of this exercise before. It's similar to what we call the clamshells. You might have been given in some exercise rehab and so on. So Claire is now looking to work her right hip here. So she is going to what we call externally rotate and then elevate the hip up towards the ceiling and then back down again. Again, doing it nice and slow and controlled. The slower we do it is the more challenging it can become. And with this one as well, you can actually do it bringing the band further down towards the ankles. And the further down towards the ankles it gets, is the more challenging it gets as well. So that's lying hip abduction. And again, you would obviously do the same on both sides. And our next exercise is what we call the alternating Superman. So with this one, you are going to lie down onto your tummies. You're going to put both hands out in front of your head, and what we want to do is have our thumbs pointing up to the ceiling and our arms to be about 45 degrees. What we're looking to do here now is we're looking to work our hamstrings, glutes and back on the opposite side. So Claire is simultaneously going to lift up, her right leg is going to come up and her left arm here is going to come up. So this part of the body is all being held here, making sure that stays down. We're going to hold at the top for about 2 seconds, and she's going to return to the floor, and then she'll work now the opposite arm and opposite leg. So we're working what we call this posterior sling here, and then back down again. And we're going to work through doing 15 to 20 of these. And basically it's a 2-second pause at the top, holding that up there. And again, keeping your thumb pointed up towards the ceiling. This is one of my favourite exercises because some of this, what we call the posterior chain, is often missed within strength and conditioning. And especially if we're sat at desks and driving cars a lot of the day, we are got this posterior chain on stretch. Okay, so that's the alternating Superman. Moving on to the fifth and final exercise is going to be lying down, well not lying down, but sitting down onto the floor. And what we're looking to here is to work the muscles of the calf and the front and back of the lower leg here. So you're holding onto the band here, and basically Claire's now going to push from the ball of her foot, pointing our toes towards the floor, and then try not to let the band slip off. And basically, so she's now going to push her feet towards the floor and then come back up. The further Claire pulls the band towards her, is the more challenging the exercise can be. And that's the fifth and final exercise. So with the bands, you get varying different strengths in them. These bands are quite cheap, so you've got within here the different colours. You can get, this one's extra heavy, so that tends to be in the packs that we've got, is the heaviest one. And then the black's the extra heavy, and it goes down. So you can build up, as you get stronger, you can then change the band to do that.
Another thing to mention as well is resistance bands. The exercises that we've shown you today, they can be used as part of a warm-up routine for before you head out for your run, or they could be used as a strength session standalone as they are, and we'd recommend doing that sort of 2 to 3 times a week to sort of start noticing the benefits within sort of a 2-3 week period. So plenty of time before you hit the marathons and the half marathons coming up in the next couple of weeks.
So if you're using it for a warm-up, there is just to do lighter bands rather than the real heavy stuff where you're going to really fatigue the muscles. You're just literally using them to warm the muscles up, so don't go to fatigue with those ones if you're using it as a warm-up. Okay,
and that's us.
Yeah, so lovely talking to you all, and hope you all have fun with your training. And we've just been showing some of the medals, so it looks like there's going to be some happy people there with some bling in the next couple of months.
Yeah, so good luck everyone, and hope you enjoy it.